Welcome back, everyone, to the third and final day of the SAFET conference. We are in the home stretch now, as they say, and we're very happy that it's clear that everyone's been engaging very well across the forum and the hallways and in the exhibition area and in the sessions themselves. This last session, we went 30 minutes longer than what we had anticipated, which is great. When you have that level of engagement and discussion, it's always very encouraging, and it's always great to have that robust exchange between people at this event. And it's indicative of the purpose of the event, which is to bring people together and create that space for dialogue and learning and understanding that is only possible through these in-person events. So in this session, we're going to be talking again about the advances in enabling emerging technologies. I'll be moderating this session. For those who don't know who I am, I think everyone's been here for the last few days. I'm Bubba Cook of WWF. And the first session is going to be from my friend Gary Orr from New Zealand, who's going to be presenting on integrated technology to combat IUU phishing, creating an environment to maximize its impact. Now, Gary and I have known each other since the 2016 SAFET event, where we first coordinated with the IMCS network. And it's a partnership that's developed over time and has been really valued by the SAFET team, and that we are able to combine efforts with IMCS network to meet a broader goal of ensuring that these technologies for IUU monitoring and for MCS purposes are ultimately make it to the hands of the professionals that use them. So without further ado, I'd like to ask Gary to come to the stage. Let's give Gary a round of applause.
Salama pagi, or as we would say in New Zealand, te atapai katoa. The IMCS network. Yep. So we're an informal voluntary organisation that promotes and facilitates communication, cooperation, coordination and capacity development across the fisheries MCS compliance and enforcement community. That's what we refer to as the 4 Cs. We have more than 80 members from national, regional and international fisheries and organisations and agencies, as well as 9 observer organisations. We're the only organisation of its type globally, and as such are uniquely positioned. This slide shows our guiding principles from our governing framework, with most focused around the 4 Cs that I've just referred to. These principles include enhancing opportunities for sharing technology and technology transfer, and promoting new MCS tools, especially for our developing country members that may have limited resources. So technology is an area that we have a strong interest in, and supporting both technology providers and technology users in the effective use of technology to combat IUU phishing is an area of focus for us. The term IUU doesn't describe activities that are concise and can be nicely grouped together, as IUU phishing covers a wide range of activities which can overlap and change in time. Technology has historically targeted unlicensed and unregulated fishers and vessels fishing illegally in national waters, which these are commonly referred to as dark targets. However, this is not the biggest risk in our view, which in many areas is illegal and unreported fishing, covering a wide range of offences, most of which are carried out by licensed vessels. So to be effective and to have impact, it is important that technology providers understand the complexity of IUU and that the risk is context specific. Technology users need to understand, to the greatest extent possible, the technologies and types of data and information that can best respond to their IUU risks. This isn't always easy, especially for developing states. We respond through monitoring, control, and surveillance activities, which are undertaken to detect, deter, and eliminate IUU and identify and address non-compliance with relevant national and regional legal obligations. So to do so effectively and to have impact, we need to understand the IUU risks in the context in which the technology is being used. But as I said, IUU risks are dynamic, are constantly changing. They especially change or evolve in response to our developing MCS activities, including the use of technology. So just as we adapt and evolve in our law enforcement tools and techniques, so too do those that we seek to hold to account for non-compliant activity or illegal activity. So to be effective and to have impact, it is important that technology providers understand that technology itself is not the entire response or solution. Rather, it is a tool, often an effective tool, that is just one component of the solution. And it's vital that technology users keep assessing the effectiveness of the technology and data and information it provides against constantly changing or evolving IUU risks. This slide highlights some of the media reports relating to the use of technology to combat IUU fishing. And it's great to see the continued development and employment of technology supporting the fight against IUU fishing. But it is important to remember, as I've said, that technology is only part of the solution. Detection is the start of the process. I've heard it said in the last couple of days that technology is the solution to IUU. Now, having worked in fisheries enforcement for over 22 years, I can tell you that the reality is that technology supports the action that is the solution. Technology is like the canary in the coal mine. It alerts us to an issue, but the solution still requires people. In my career, I've been involved in many fisheries investigations, both domestic and international. Whilst technology always supports these investigations, it rarely solves them. People do. In saying that, technology is indeed a force multiplier that often expedites an investigation. We can also see the value of technology oversold, and this can result in significant pressure being placed on national and regional organisations to be using the latest emerging technology or employing technology for technology's sake. However, this isn't always responding to the IUU risk that exists in that context, and it doesn't always accurately reflect the level of IUU risk that potential users may face in their specific context. This can be especially challenging distractions for developing states with limited resources, where it's vital that their limited human and technical resources are directed towards the areas where they can have the most impact. In these states, there often may not be the capability to interpret or integrate technology and data to support MCS responses. This is where the IMCS network can help, through supporting providers and users to better understand the issues and capabilities and support users to apply technology in their specific context. An important part of considering context for technology deployment is understanding the legal, institutional, and operational environment of the potential technology users. Having the data doesn't mean an officer can translate that to action. These can impact data management, data integration, and the ability to understand and respond, among other things. So we need to go beyond just thinking about the technology to consider how it can be aligned with the MCS and compliance processes, how it can be effectively integrated to support and inform responses, as well as being used within the appropriate legal framework. And this can get really complex where this response is a prosecution. In this regard, technology supports the people. It doesn't drive the actions of the people. We also need to consider the scale of any tech solution on offer. Does it need to be the gold standard, or will the bronze suffice? And I'd say to the NGOs that provide funding for development and implementation of tech solutions in developing worlds, when you consider your funding process, don't just think about working up the package and delivering it. It's that ongoing operational cost which is often left to the developing nation to find from within baseline budget to repair and maintain that solution. Can be quite costly sometimes. So think about sustained funding for the life of that solution. So, in closing, to have impact, we do need technology, but it has to support our fisheries compliance approaches that can be integrated into MCS processes that support effective action that can respond to our context-specific IUU fishing risks. I want to leave you to consider a saying we have in New Zealand when asked what's important to us, and that's particularly in the law enforcement aspect. He tangata, he tangata, he tangata. It is people, it is people, it is people. Te rima kasi. Thank you.